How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. Look at this shit. Mystery beers. Fucking mystery beers. They're the best kind of beers. Well, I don't know. There's a couple other awesomer beers, maybe. But there's potentially awesomeness inside here, so hopefully this review is awesome-tastic, and we have the most awesomest things of awesome times with this paper bag with a 1 on it. Courtesy of Eric from beer_helps on Instagram. He saw some of my mystery beer reviews and he was kind of into it. And he said, "Hey man, can I keep this going?" I said, "Yeah, motherfucker, yes you can." And he sent me 4 beers total, each numbered. I said this thing about like when I did the original mystery beers, I didn't know what they were, so some I was hoping they were IPAs, and I was trying to want to work myself up gradually from like light to dark. And, the first one I poured was a big, dark Imperial Stout. So he progressed it for me. I don't know if I have a problem with that or not. I don't think it's an issue. But at the same time, going into this, I assume this is going to be a small beer. So hopefully he is going to troll the living shit out of me and do a non-small beer. But, it's a can. We see stouts come in cans, but, yeah. Anyway, I'll stop yammering. As far as what it says in the bottle, or can, because this is a can, not a bottle, it says 1. Full disclosure, I don't know if you can actually see in the back here. You can barely make out a little bit of lettering. I just see an H, a U, looks like a U, and M. I can't say anything else. I actually have actively boycotted focusing on that lettering through there, but I can barely see it in there. So I don't want to come off as somebody that's trying to cheat or anything like that. So I don't know what that means. I have no idea what's going on. It doesn't look like a beer I can recognize. So there you go. Whatever. Suck it. I'm just gonna pour it and drink it and see what happens. So these landed 2 days ago. I was in Atlantic City, and they were sitting on my porch. But it was cold out, so they shouldn't have gotten too mixed up and all kinds of weirdified and fucked up and shit like that. So hopefully she's still good. 2 fingers, kind of like gravity-defying head. You look at that motherfucker? I'm cursing extra right now for reasons you don't know about. Anyway, little bit of a gravity-defying head there. Pretty kind of creamy, but now it's kind of rocky and it's kind of dissipating pretty quick. White as white could be, and that looks like, and it smells like from a distance, a IPA or double IPA. I'm getting a lot of melon vibes, a lot of stone fruity tropical vibes, a little star fruit, a little papaya maybe. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's beer and stuff. So yeah, she looks and smells like an IPA from a distance. So see what she smells like. San Diego beers, I assume, too. Did I say that? I don't know if I did, but let's see what he have in the nose. Well, he's from San Diego. I shouldn't say San Diego beers. Yeah, it's more like pineapple now on the nose. Pineapple, a little bit of soft peachiness, subtle kind of tropical fruits, but yeah. Pineapple, some peaches, nice sweetness to it. Definitely your New England style kind of IPA. I'm pretty sure it's an IPA. It's not a double IPA. But I could be wrong. I'm thinking, just for guessing, for fun's sake, guessing it's anywhere around 6.5% to 7%. Yeah, it's got a really nice, rich, fruity nose to it. There's a nice sweetness to it, too. There's an underlying little bit of dankness there. It's not like an oniony dankness or a weedy dankness or even a pininess. It's more of a generic bitterness, generic dankness. But the, wow. That's really fruity. Every time I take a waft, there's a fucking word for you, waft. Get a waft to the nose and my face. It's just richer, and it's exactly what fruit is before it becomes rotten. When it's awesome, right before it gets rotten and stuff, where it's you're okay, I'm eating this. It's super delicious, but it's borderline fermented rotten fruit at that point. That's kind of where this is nose wise, and it's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, fruits all bound. Yeah, definitely, like I said, I think it's an IPA. I don't think it's a double IPA. Let me stop yammering and yammer some more while I drink it and yammer. Cheers. Okay. All the nose on this one. All the nose are belong to us. The nose is super, super vibrant, fruity. In the mouth, it actually kind of is quite a bit muted compared to the nose. The fruits are still there. A little bit of generic dankness is still there, but it's just kind of gone, or not as elevated, I guess you would say, as the nose. It's not gone, it's there. more bittering in the mouth. Not nearly as sweet as I thought it would be. There's a sweetness there. And the bittering's like almost not like a hop bittering. It's almost like a Belgian kind of Saison kind of bittering. So it's almost like I went from, okay, this is definitely like a New England style IPA to where this is like a, hopped up Saison version of a New England IPA. I'm not necessarily getting like that super pepperiness that you would get with a Saison, or any kind of funkiness, but that kind of like, I don't want to say sour, almost like subtle funkiness with a little bit of dryness kind of makes me lean that way, even though I'd still go a West Coast brewery trying to make a New England IPA, and they just didn't land it in the mouth, but they landed it in the nose. Yeah, nose is fucking awesome, though. Mouthfeel's cool. Slightly undercarbonated, but there's like that, like I said, that real striking part is based off of how sweet and how fruity the nose is. The tartness. Subtle tartness. Very subtle tartness in the mouth kind of just makes you think, I don't know what the hell's going on. But, yeah, fun beer, nice beer, enjoy it. Gun to my head, like I said, I'd stick with the IPA, getting close to double IPA range, but that little bit of subtle, very subtle kind of weird, funky tartness makes me think it had maybe a Saison base to it, but I could be wrong. But I'm going IPA on this one. So let's see what's got going on. That's all I have to say. Like I said, mouthfeel's cool, carbonation is a little lower than where I'd want it to be. So let's see if we can get the big reveal here. It's so exciting, right? You're like freaking out right now. It's so exciting. It's double wrapped too, and I can see the actual label through it. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. We have here Council. Okay, Council Brewing. We have their Humming Wires IPA with a kiss of tartness. Look at that. Motherfucker gets shit right every now and then. It says Alvarado Street Brewery, San Diego, California, Council Brewing. So it's a collaboration. It says here it's brewed and packaged by Alvarado Street Brewing in Salinas, California. 6.5% alcohol by volume. That's pretty much it. It just says an IPA with a kiss of tartness. So that's kind of what I was getting in there. You know what I mean? I was getting those fruit notes, especially in the nose. The nose is bonkers good, but I didn't really get any kind of tartness in there from the nose, but in the mouth, it was definitely there. So it's kind of cool. I don't know what it is. It almost tasted like, now looking at it and seeing it for the light of day, I kind of think maybe it's like a blend. Maybe it's like a kettle sour blended with an IPA. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting from it, but it's a pretty fun beer. Actually knowing what it is and drinking it makes me kind of embrace it a little bit more, I guess you'd say, just because that, I don't know if that tartness was purposeful, even though it shouldn't really matter, it just should be good or bad. But to know it's there, it kind of makes a little bit more sense, because obviously it's purpose. Well, they say it's purposeful on the label. Who knows? Maybe the beer came out a little tart and they wrote that on the label. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, cool. The label is cash money. It's pretty fucking awesome. It's got like these cool little hummingbirds on them, but they stretched them throughout the label. If you can see, they kind of like where the lettering is, they actually stretched the hummingbirds out and kind of like morph them in a way that I think this is a pretty good fucking, pretty cool fucking label. Council, I've had some of their beers. Almost everything I've had from Council has been a sour beer, mostly kettle soured stuff. I've never had anything for Alvarado Street, so yeah, pretty fun fucking beer. Not too shabby. And I was kind of right, so that doesn't suck either. Yeah, pretty refreshing start to the night. I'm going to do like 60 or 70 beer reviews tonight. That's a joke. Someone's off camera. I'm trying to make him laugh. Anyway, so yeah, fun beer. Thank you very much, Eric, for sending this off. At beer_helps. Dude sent me some cool fucking beers. Well, I hope they're cool beers. There's 4 of them. This one's pretty fucking cool. There's one at the end, which is a big bulbous waxed bottle that looks like I'm probably going to sever a finger or a femoral artery when I fucking open that thing. So I might die doing these. But anyway, it looks like you sent some cool stuff off. Super appreciative. So other than that, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better, I don't even know how to put it, one of the better tart beers? Because it's not an IPA and it's not a funky beer. Somewhere in between. One of the better oddball IPAs I've had as of late. On the outside looking at it, that tartness just comes off a little bit too generic. There's not any kind of redeemable qualities behind the tartness. It's just slightly tart. It doesn't impart much flavor besides being tart, but it adds a cool dimension. So I dig it, but it's kind of on the outside looking in. Value and availability, no idea. Maybe we can get people chiming in down there and all that kind of stuff, and just say if you like what we like this. If you like saisons, if you like funky beers, if you like IPAs, and you wish they had a little bit of a mean streak, a little bit of tartness to them, then it's definitely worth checking out, because Council makes great beers. Alvarado Street never had anything from them, but this is pretty fun, and who doesn't like adventurous beer? And that's what this is, so there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, didn't, somewhere in between, down there, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tap. No, that's the other thing I say. Down there is where you put the comments. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tap is where you find me everywhere else. Just put Massive Beers on Googles, baby, because I'm out there. And other than that, I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little tart little IPA right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.